till the Lord is come. See the far ways, the yield of the soil. He watches it in winter and in spring rain. Nations be born till the Lord is coming.
A lot of times, the Lord will give me a message, usually at the very last minute. And the message, in essence, says, okay, John, you think you had it all planned out, what you were going to talk about, but let me give you a reason to do a rewrite. And so he did this morning. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Tell you a little bit about my morning. I was driving to church. Wanted to get here early, which those of you that know me, you know those two words, me and early don't go together all that much. But so I was driving down Pine Avenue, and this car that was in front of me slowed down and stopped right there in the lane. First reaction was, come on, what are you waiting for? And then I looked and I saw what this driver was waiting for. This driver had stopped because there was a flock of quail crossing the street. I think they were a flock. I don't think they were a gang, but you're not really sure. It was about 4 or 5 of them. And I mean, in Boise and Meridian, we're used to stopping for ducks, right? Ducks are out in the street. You got to let them go, and they all go waddling along or whatever. Quail are different, I discovered. I am not kidding you. They were all there on the one side, and one started across the street. And when it got to the other side, then the next one started. They did it one at a time. I am not kidding you. I just looked at them and this is incredible. Wow. Lord, if you hadn't challenged me to slow down, to be patient, I would have missed out on this incredible sight of watching how quail cross the street. Thank you. This was a great blessing. And so then I kept driving, decided to stop at a fast food place and just grab a quick bite of breakfast. And there was one car in front of me. And I knew that I was in trouble because it took this car forever to order. They pulled around, I pulled up, I made my order real quick. There, see, I'll show them how it's done. Came around, and if I thought it took a long time for them to order, that was nothing compared to how long it took for them to get their food. And halfway through this excruciatingly long waiting period, I came to the realization, do you realize what you had just done, John? You had this incredible experience of remembering to be patient because of the quail, and here you are in line, completely blowing it with all that you're thinking about these people in front of you who you don't even know, who are just wanting to get their breakfast. And the only thing I could think of was, come on, come on! Where was my gratitude? Where was my patience? That's what I should have been focusing on rather than, where is my breakfast? Let's go with verse 2.
Patience we walk till the Lord is come. You have seen the purpose of the Lord. You know of His compassion and His mercy. Patience we walk, for the Lord is coming.
That is my very, very favorite Advent song. I look forward to it each year, but especially, when we're in Cycle A, and I know that it's coming up as one of the readings, that letter from James. Patience. Patience. We get that message right now, of all times. We as a society, based on what so many people confess, we are becoming less and less patient. And as I was sitting in my car in the drive-thru, waiting, I realized what I was doing. I was, in essence, telling myself, it doesn't matter about anybody else. What I want and what I have to do is more important. And if they don't know that, if they can't get out of my way, if they can't accommodate me, then what the heck is wrong with them? How much do we need that grace of patience? How used have we gotten to, if things don't go just my way, if I'm being delayed just a little bit, I don't even think about it anymore. I just automatically shift into impatient mode. If I had been impatient and let it get the best of me, I wouldn't have had that beautiful vision of those quail. That it's going to be something I'm going to cherish for a long time. If Noah hadn't had incredible patience, we wouldn't have snails today. Because it took them forever to get to the ark. our children, our spouses aren't doing what we expect or living the way that we think they should live. And we stay impatient with them. How much do we miss out? Advent season says to us, God is working everything out in His time. For the people before Jesus, they had to wait. But they did so with hope. After Jesus' resurrection, most early Christians believed that Jesus was coming back quickly. Obviously, it wasn't to be, but that didn't mean that God was abandoning them. And James writes, "Be patient, my people." God knows. God's got it worked out. Can we, will we trust and calm down and get back a sense of perspective that allows us to really see the blessings? The Reverend Martin Pike wrote this: 3 minutes had elapsed since I had taken my seat at the lunch counter. Waitresses passed me by. 2 cooks and a busboy took no notice of my presence. My ego was soothed only because the truck driver seated next to me was ignored as well. "Maybe this counter's off limits," I said to him. "Maybe they're short of help," he said. "Maybe they don't want our business," I said. "Maybe they're taking care of those at the tables," was his reply. The hands on the clock continued to move. "Maybe they don't like us," I insisted. "The air conditioning feels so good, I don't mind waiting," he said. At this point, a harried waitress stopped to tell us that the water had been cut off and the dishwasher was not functioning. My nameless compatriot smiled and thanked the waitress and left. I did not like him. 3 times I had sought his support for my obnoxious attitude, but he had let me down. Only later did I realize that he had chosen to practice what I preach.
Patience, people, till the Lord is come. Steady your hearts, for the Lord is close at hand. And do not grumble one against the other. Patience, people, for the Lord is coming.
Steady your hearts, for the Lord is close at hand. And do not grumble one against the other. Patience, people, for the Lord is coming. And Merry Christmas to us all.